All right. How to brew decks and change lives. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. All right. Whew. Ooh, Nelly. I'm a little sore because I had to do my cleaning today. Cleaning a house after like 2 weeks of being sick is not fun. It is not fun. Okay. Gotta get warmed up a little bit because it's just a tad chilly in the office because I have the fan directly on me. I've been having cold ice cream to beat the heat. Beat the heat that's coming. Coming. Summer is coming, chat. Prepare yourself. Okay, let's do this, shall we? Hey there, heroes. My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and I'm also a professional idea haver. Today is April 7th, 2026, and this is the Daily Grind. This is that part of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies. Haven't said that in a hot second, have I? And routine. I should really come up with something that's like catchy, snappy, witty, marketable, probably. Chat. Today we have to do the kill quest again, which means that we're going to be playing Big Lady Clothis. I love playing Big Lady Clothis, don't get me wrong, but it's a 750, chat. It's a 750, so I can't exactly ignore it, especially when I'm getting ready to take a couple of days off to take care of my wife. If it wasn't like that, I would say, hey, you know what? Actually, let's play some other decks. We'll farm this over the course of like the next couple of days. We'll do Clothis on like day 2 or 3 just to finish it off, but now. Nah, this is a 750 that I need to mark out of the way now. Also, like, I need to get some more songs. I really wanted to start today's stream with Feel Good Incorporated, and then I realized I don't have it on in my music player. So gotta update that. I guess the alternative would have been pull it up on YouTube, play it from a source there. Damn, YouTube's loud. Laughing Jasper Flint. Well, fortunately, as we know, these crime decks can't do jack all against us. I want Fable Passage. That is Rock Veil. This is an awkward hand, but we could theoretically make this work. If we find like one more untapped land, perfect. You'd love to see that. I guess they could Dark Rit into Oppressive Agent here, but I'm just not even playing. And I'm actually going to use this to grab Basic Forest. Now we're set. Because as soon as we get Clothis down, like, there's just, like, nothing that they can really do about it. Okay. Let's see, what's Jasper say again? Beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of opponent's library, X the number of outlaws you have. Okay, cool. Now we've got Rock Veil, we've got Fable Passage, we've got... Ooh, Gix. Gix is pretty good here because it's going to give them an immediate redraw. And we don't want them having like any sort of value engine. So if we need to kill both of these, I don't really care about the lizard as much. Like, I guess we do just like kill everything in sight, but I don't really need to cast spells right now. I'll just take this scrying. And if that's going to be the case, let's go Manhole Missile, Throwback, probably Stokens. Yeah, I don't mind that. And honestly, this little guy can just like hang around for a little bit. Really? You're trying to play all mercenaries. During your turn, outlaws you can draw a first strike. Whenever you commit a crime, create a 1/1 merc. Okay, this is target opponent. Target opponent. Okay, now I think I care. Let's put back the Cinder Gale. I don't mind a Cryptic Cave just for a redraw. Carolyn, thank you so much for the lurk redeem. Weltering Sun. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Kind of alright. A 4-3 is so easy to burn out too. How do we want to do that? Just want to kill this thing, right? We just want to kill before they have a chance to like do anything. And then we'll probably just use Sweltering Suns in the next one. Yeah, we'll use Sweltering Suns to knock out Jasper and whatever token they try and make. Is this every time they commit a crime? Just continue to eat stuff out of the graveyard, I guess. Two more kills. And yeah, I do think we cracked the Cryptic Caves now. We're just trying to like exhaust all their resources. Ooh, Barrage isn't bad. Deals with all of those heckin' tokens that they're gonna get. I want to hold on to this Fable Passage for redrawing later. At this point, we're leaving off top deck mode, though. That is not what I was hoping for, admittedly. It's a 3/4 dinosaur. 1 damage, 1 damage. All right, they got us. I will... Oh, hold on. What cards did I put to the bottom? A bunch of lands. I don't want to reshuffle. Alright, so now they get to go ahead and do the thing. Oh, it's lands! Oh, isn't that nice? I guess I'll just like wait until I can deal with Jasper before I unleash the old tech hazard tech. There's only like one. Okay, what modes did they pick on here? Did they pick all 3? Untap all creatures you control. There's additional combat phase. There's creatures you control get 1/0 first strike. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage to that player, make a tap treasure token. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Ooh, Spiteful Banditry. You love to see that. Now we can go 1, 2, 3. They only have like one thing in the graveyard now, so I'm going to be eating out of my own graveyard. Like, I could be animating my Ridgeline, but a black-red deck should probably have like a good chunk of removal. Yep, they're just going to spend their time recasting their commander. That is fine by me. I want... probably just... And like they can make a bunch of duders with at knife point. I don't really care about that. Not when I have Tech Hazard right here. Although I guess I could go ahead and use the Barrage here. Like I'm not going to be using it for anything else. And they might have like a 2-power card that I care about. And honestly, if anything, I want them to make more little duders. Because then that's more creatures that I get to kill. Like, yes, please, by all means, commit crimes, actually. Tiny Bones. I'm not going to do it. Oh, they're just going to try and, like, doink me for 1. Alright, I see how it is. Burn down the house. That's a good card to hold on to for later. Which one? Usually I want to eat the ones that eat creatures first. Because then everything else I can potentially hit recycle and make them. Alright, here's a tech hazard. Alright, and the opponent is done with our shit. Understandable. Thank you so much. Thank you, friend. That was a fair amount of creatures. Although it looks like they were trying to go really hard on the mercenary aspect. Some of these cards are alright, like X is pretty good, but I don't know about Deadeye Duelist or Reckless Lackey. They might be on a budget though. That would do it. But the fact that Jasper is just like so boltable. Yeah, we got 11 creatures out of that. That was a good one for us. The fact that Jasper is so boltable really hurts his viability. Oh, and Kellen, you're on a 100 stream streak. Raphaelos Landwar Emissary. This is going to be great or bad. There's no in between here. We get to go first. Blood Moon doesn't do anything, but we have Fire Prophecy. We have Burn Down the House for when they go too wide. Golden Exhale's a sorcery. A Braid is an instant as well. Ooh, Once Upon a Time. I keep forgetting that that's a card that I should probably craft. Alright, let's see if they try and just jam Raphaelos without protection. Yep, jam Raphaelos. We'll ship back that Blood Moon. Fabled Passage for red, probably. This isn't a matchup where we want to play the Blood Moon. So go ahead and just do it like that. Then we'll cast Fierce Empath. That's not good for us. That's no good. Don't like that. That lets them search for any creature mana value 6 or greater added directly to their hand. They're grabbing Prime Time, which is why you got rewards disabled? What are you talking about? Like what rewards? Once Upon a Time or... And it's probably... Because what I'm going to do here... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and Magic Missile. 1, 2, 3. They're going to get to cast Prime Time. And as soon as they cast Prime Time, then like, they're just going to be able to cast like everything that's huge. That's so weird. Mobile Twitch was telling me you had your channel rewards disabled. But the app reset fixed it. I see. I'm definitely eating the Fierce Empath here. Okay, so O'Hare Kaslam, you are... Reveal that many cards on the top of your library. Put a creature and or land onto the battlefield. So that creature could be anything. It's just the damage restricts how many cards they get to look at. Okay. Burn Down the House deals with O'Hare Kaslam, but then they have Primetime coming down, and I need... deal with Primetime. I don't want to have to, like, double spell O'Hare Kaslam. Burn Down the House only deals with... I'm trying to think. I'm going to have to double spell, so I kind of have to just, like, hope I hit a land. Is that where I'm at? Probably. Yep. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take the O'Hare hit. And then they get to look at the top 6 cards. Titan of Industry is really fucking good. I don't think I'm gonna get any other kills out of this. I'm probably gonna get the Burn Down the House and that's it. Put a shield counter on. Actually, hold on. On a creature you control. Putting it on itself. It takes 2 cards, but like that is yet another kill, and that's our primary goal here. So, again, I need to hit a land off the top in order to wipe out. Oh, they get to put a shield counter on a creature you control. It doesn't target, right? Okay, so burn down the house no longer does anything. Okay. If that's going to be the case, then I'm going to go ahead and burn this Primeval Titan. I don't think this even, like, does it, because I think it just gets exiled now. And then we'll go ahead and concede. Alright, we'll try and find, like, an actual elf deck as opposed to, like, you know, a ramp into a huge, ramp into huge stuff that's outside of our burn range deck. And yes, Ron, I'm taking plenty of sippies. I can tell you right now, we're not going to get in with Aragorn. Aragorn is going to get, like, huge, and it's going to bully us into submission. We want something... The creature aggro would be fine. We have plenty of things. That would give us a ton of creatures to murder. Mid-range is okay. We basically just don't want to see any, like, big ramp or control decks. I guess go first, but I do have the Cindercone Smite here. Pyroclasm, kind of covered Beast Within. Not like the greatest, but it's alright. Love to see the Verge here. Conductive Current is also just like a good little board wipe that helps buff one of your other spells. Like, we can turn Pyroclasm into a 4 damage to each creature. I am super light on just like 1-for-1 removal though, which is what I want in this early game. Alright, I get a treasure because I'm not the starting player. Am I doing anything else? Not this turn. So this is a good time for our Ridgeline to come into play. Aha! Malevolent Mumble. Yeah, there's the Ulamog. And that's kind of what I mean by just like, we can't beat giant cards. But we're not here to like win anyway. We're here to farm. And in that respect, like, you know, this is still like no good because you don't get to do nothing. Sylvan Scrying. If they were to regrow anything, what do I feel the worst about? Probably the Archdruid's Charm right off the bat. That gets rid of Klothys. Like, I do have to be worried about Noxious Revival, unfortunately. This would be basic. Ungraciously lets us kill one of the creatures, although I think anytime they sacrifice creatures, that counts, right? I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Life total doesn't matter here. I'll just grab my shock land. And then see what Perilous Iteration gets us for next turn. Exquisite Firecraft can go directly to the face if nothing else. Guardian Project, that's a redraw. I've got Chandra here. I could blow that up with a Beast Within and then play Chandra. Or, let's see, I would need 1 more mana to make that work, so I do want to fetch land. Oh, but I gotta use the Exquisite Firecraft for that, actually. Because then otherwise it just goes to waste. Yeah. I still have this Conductive Current that I'm not using. Like, if they have to get the 10 mana, we're fucking cooked, but No. That day is not today, apparently. Get the tooth and nail now. We don't have any landfall, so there's no real reason for us to crack this. We have some shuffle effects. For example, if we have to like use volcanic visions to ship a card that we actually want to see again to the bottom, we can use that to reshuffle the deck. Give us a chance to redraw it. Chandra and Fury both deal the same amount of damage. I don't want to burn the conductive current yet. So let's do that. Grab Mountain, go into Sylvan Scrying into Chandra. Opponent's currently having some connection issues, let's assume. Maybe they just had to like really use the bathroom. Do we have like any cool fun with here? It's probably just like a redraw off of... Yeah, it's probably just like a redraw off of case here.
You wanna go, tough guy?
Anyway. Once we get this like kill count down, what do I want to do? Do I just want to like keep jamming games with Colossus and try and like actually win? That's always on the table. Yep, that's a Latimery. Do I need big mana? I can go Conductive Current with the Draconic Intervention. That's a thing I can do now. And if that's going to be the case, then...
This'll be easy.
Here's the case. Pass turn. We're basically just using Chandra to Impulse Draw each turn. I am shocked if they don't have like any actual 6-drops in their hands. Like if it's just literally all 7-drops and no lands. That's actually kind of amazing. That's an outlier for this deck. And also like, so this deals X damage where X is going to be the mana value of the instant sorcery that we exile. And now it's +2. The maximum that we can get currently is 5. Yeah. Okay. I need to take this opportunity to stretch and talk about how, you know, tomorrow and Thursday, I'm not going to be around. We're not going to be streaming because it is time for a monthly wife care. And then Friday, we'll be back to doing Final Fantasy Friday with our buddy Fran, who had a great time at his convention. Yep. Exile the... Let's see, that's 7 mana. Yeah, you exile Colossus. This is also second land. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. I can... see. I can deal with that thanks to Fury and Eruption, at least. So that's something. Alright, so that's 4 damage here. And then we have 4 Eruption. I can't cast anything otherwise, so...
Yup, you're going down.
Alright. I guess we are just using Colossus and Draconic Intervention. I don't know if that happens. Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. How do I feel about that? I can minus Chandra. I can also just like kill the Vorinclex. Vorinclex currently goes for still 5. Not really like enough. I guess I just go to attacks because they're not going to take it. They're not going to trade. They're just going to take the 3. Yeah, I guess I don't mind just like trading in the Chandra. Deal 4 damage. Here's a Rebo Salvo. Deal 5 damage to the Vorinclex. Ulamog has like 10 power. It's going to be like a couple of turns before they can Ulamog. I could also like use Chandra. No, that doesn't work. We really do. Oh, they're going to take the trade? Sure, fuck yeah. That is like money to my ears. We don't actually have any creatures to kill, so like I'm in it to kill it. And if they cast that Ulamog, that's only 10. We got 5 and 5 right here, so we can actually kill that too. Well, I guess technically it gets exiled, so that it doesn't count as a kill. But, like, wouldn't it be satisfying to say that we did? Because we're going to lose Clothis, we'll lose Chandra. That's fine. Chandra ults at 7. Oh, hey, it's Critterhoof. Alright. Twist my arm, why don't you? This might be the first time I'm actually, like, dealing with a big creatures deck. What? Yeah, we don't need to. Which one would be, like, the most problematic? Probably the World Breaker, right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of the Board Breaker. Get that off the table. I want... no! Yeah, I should have just... Never mind. Whoopsie doodle. Yeah. Same as it being on the bottom of the deck, essentially, but like... I should have just been plussing for mana at that point. I don't need to actually be progressing towards wins, because that means no creatures to kill. I guess technically we have a... What, a 6-turn clock here? No, these are each deal 2 damage. That's going to be 3. Nissa coming up. Nissa's kind of cool. It's also, I need to check something real quick. This says destroy target non-basic land. Surveil. Repercussions. Repercussions is kind of cool here, actually. Now we can just, like, shit out of the graveyard. Get rid of that Vorinclex. Do me that favor. Play this. This is non-basic, so we don't care about that. Here's Repercussions. Now we go ahead and plus. Try and hit something off the top. Ooh, yeah! Just, like, hugely speeds up the clock. Also, I just realized that if we actually get Clothis to turn into a creature, they just can't, like, beat through it. Just things to think about. Also, this turns into a 3/4 if we have, like, 1 extra mana. That's probably worth using. What is this? This is X damage to each non-dragon. This would be 5, instantly double to 6. Yeah. I think I'm out of creatures to kill. Yeah, I'm out of creatures to kill. So let's just end it, shall we? Yep. All right, so we just go ahead and dome them. That lets us kill a forest. I wasn't expecting to win that one, but we got to kill quite a few creatures along the way. GG's. We also had to get insanely lucky by having the exact right removal for some of those. Right when we got them. Oh, that actually gave us the rest of the kills that we needed. Gracias. Muchas gracias. All right, we got like half an hour left. We can try out some of the decks that I've been experimenting with before we head out. We got a Mega here. I've got Balthier and yeah, Balthier and Fran. Yeah. You can give this one a try. Been working on the Omega deck too. Pull that up. I made some tweaks. Hopefully the tweaks help this a little bit better. It's definitely a good deck for learning how to build a ships and pilots deck. If I can make this work and figure out the fundamental principles to making ships and pilots decks work, we've got some possibilities here. Hilda the Icy Crown is kind of the same way. They're so tricky to put together because it's so easy to disrupt if it's not just an infinite combo. We're up against Black-Red Prosper Tombbound. Prosper is just like an absolute beating in terms of red-black control. If he gets a chance to stick around, they just snowball and take over. Having the Death Touch on a 1/4 body, it's kind of hard to deal with sometimes. Unlicensed Hearse, Exing Squelcher, Demand Answers. And we're on the play. Yeah, this works. It's red-black. I'm going to grab my basics. This is the type of deck that would absolutely run a Magus of the Moon. Blood Moon type effect. And I'm actually going to lead off on Unlicensed Hearse rather than Balthier and Fran. I want to be able to get the card going beep beep. Exing Squelcher is... ooh, especially with the Tamio safekeeping out now. That's pretty good. Now I just have like even more incentive to wait on Balthier and Fran. No fetch lands. This is just like exile up to 2 cards from a single graveyard. We can go ahead and eat stuff out of our graveyard. Rehild. Understood. Rehild is a really aggressive card. Usually easy to deal with, but we don't have any shocks in our hand. Horde Hauler. This is a crew 3. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, currently a crew 2. We're gonna have Balthier and Fran. Get 2/2. How do I feel about a 5/5 trample? I think I'm looking for something else. Alright, but the car is at least a 2/2 now. That's something. I want... Alright, I can crew the Unlicensed Hearse. The Unlicensed Hearse has Vigilance, but... Werewolf. And I don't mind trading the Hearse for Rehild. It means that we need to find a new car. But we've got Demand Answers to trade in this Squelcher. If I had mana open, I could even, like, you know, sacrifice the Hearse as soon as it's targeted for a kill spell. That's just not the world we live in, though. The They only have the 2 mana though, so... Alright, beep beep, motherfucker! This will be interesting. If they kill Balthor and Fran... 2-0... Okay. Now we can actually pump up the hearse. With the 2 cards that they just put in there. Wow, okay, that was a fast concession. What was the opposite of that side of this? This is just the exile. Okay, so like, couple of things. I don't like not playing the Mana Confluence second main phase there. I think you should absolutely be playing it so that way you can represent more than just one combat trick. Because if I, in that instance, if I'm forced to consider whether or not like I could get blown out with the Tamio safekeeping, then I might just like let the hit happen instead of risking it. Because then it's like, okay, unlicensed hearse, go to block. They give a combat trick that makes them beat the unlicensed hearse. I go Tamio's safekeeping, and now they can bolt in response. That's an absolute blowout in their favor. But because they're not even threatening it, I just have like no reason not to safekeeping, win the trade, and then grow the Hearst. And now next turn we're swinging for like 8 damage. There's something to be said about like sandbagging your lands and playing them second main phase, because it, quote, hides information from your opponent in regards to whether or not they should be interacting with your stuff. I think it's just more valuable to be in the habit of turn start, play your land, unless you have something that you want to do, like a ponder or a brainstorm line. Like, I feel like playing the land, like holding it back. Yeah, I feel like holding it back before seeing other decisions should be the exception rather than the rule. It's entirely possible that they were trying to hit a land off of... waiting to see if they hit a land off of me. But they get to do that on any turn that they attacked with a werewolf with the way that Rahild's worded. Also, we're up against Mythweaver Pock. We have Fire Magic on turn 1 if we need it. The Rocketeer Boost Buggy is here on turn 2. Snake Veilskin, Hauler. We'll see if this works out. I don't like having the District in my opening hand, though. Because this means... thank God. Okay. I can go Windswept Teeth and then wait to see if anything happens with the Fire Magic. And if not, then we just grab a tapped land. I like that. And then next turn we'll play the Stomping Ground. The Mechaner also taps for any color, actually. Wolf Willow. Gotcha. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just do this to get one of our tap lands out. Probably Cinder Gale. And now we can just play the Mechaner. Is there a reason for us not to? I don't think there is. We can still upcast Fire Magic. The Fyra. Forenzia. We've got Thunder Interruption here also, because this helps push through the additional damage. So this is going to be a 4-3. Yeah, this is going to be a 4-3 when it attacks. Pock's going to come down next turn. That's going to be really huge for them. Hexing Squelcher. Not a lot I can do about that. Do I have to, like, worry about fight spells, actually? I don't want to be worried about fight spells, but now that I've thought about it, I also have to be worried about Scoot Swarms, actually. Oh, I forgot this makes a treasure token whenever it attacks. That's cool. And it's pay 3, exhaust. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a counter on it. Yo, that's sweet. Why wasn't I playing this card before? That canter here also just like helps animate creatures. Yep, that's Pock, alright. Pock is gonna get fucking huge. Be so fucking swole. This Horde Hauler doesn't punch through it. I don't have anything that deals with huge creatures in this deck, do I? Am I running Beast Within? No way for me to know if I am or not. Primal Command. This is put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library. I guess I could play the Horde Hauler and then haul off on Balther and Fran. Royal Treatment is cool. I need to be able to hold on to this Primal Command. How much is this? This is a crew 3. Yeah, that's a crew 3. I don't want to use this Thundering Eruption. Let's think for a second. I don't want to... This is how I get through and just, like, fucking deck them. So then how do I... Do I just sacrifice the Rocketeer Buggy? Because if I do that, I get a treasure. I could theoretically, like, trade it with the Royal Treatment and the Snakeskin Veil, too. Or even just, like, go Fire Magic. If I go Fire Magic, upcast that to... what? 3, 4... 6... It's 6 to deal 3. I can exhaust this. Put it into it. I don't want to just like get fucking got by the Primal Command. But I guess if I just use like everything to crew it, then it's fine. Like, I'm really just gambling here. Because they could... I'm going to have to wait until they try and do it in response. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait until they do it in response. Because if I try and, like, pop it off preemptively, that's bad. I mean, at least it doesn't take, like, any mana to do it. Oh, and they also have Portal to Phyrexia coming up. Frick. Really? You're going to give a Portal to Phyrexia? 1, 2... Oh, shit. They actually just have a 7-drop that they can play now. Oh, right, and right, because it's Seeks, they don't have to change their top deck. No, we're just gonna get destroyed here. That is a, that is an unfortunate GG, isn't it? Just combination to a player, create a treasure token back they control. I mean, the good news is I can play Balthier and Fran, and like both of these can get screwed up. And that is like what I wanted to do with the revision of this deck. I wanted to be able to go, you know, screw up multiple vehicles. Alright, they're going to attack for 8. That's fine. I kind of had this weird idea where I wanted to just like chain vehicles into larger vehicles, Gurren Lagann style. I don't think that's quite viable though. What 7-drop? I don't. It's hard to imagine a 7-drop that doesn't fuck us up. Okay, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put into your hand. Put target non-creature. So I guess go ahead, crew 1. And then go ahead, crew 3. Oh, wait, what? Oh, because it doesn't target, they don't get the search! Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. They have 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. Yeah, they have enough to cast Portal to Phyrexia. That fucking sucks. That sucks for us. I can't use Balthier and Fran this turn then because then they just like murder us. What I can do is fire magic. Yeah, I guess I just fire magic then. Hold on, do I do it for 2 damage? If I do it for 2 damage, that wipes out my Squelcher now. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and deal 1 to everything. And then we will... Crew, attack, make a trample... You know, make a treasure. This detains back, I guess? I guess we just like, go ahead and crew it again. This just does more damage. Oh, that's a treasure for each artifact they control. Okay, so they didn't have their signet. Like, literally would not be advised to do a thing. I'm at 6 mana. That's what I need to do Balthier and Fran. And then they don't. There's no. Not like there's any fun creatures that they can get back just yet, right? Yeah, they can go ahead and dome me for 12 now. Kind of no reason not to. So yeah, I probably should have left the Mech Hainer up so that way I can animate the Horde Hauler. So then if that's going to be the case, let's turn this into a creature. And then... Are we just always casting Balthier and Fran? I think we are. And then we also just like have Sundering Eruption. That's a little too slow, unfortunate. Yes. I mean, they just get creatures back with Portal to Phyrexia, and also we just die on the crackback. Yes. Yes? This doesn't have trample, right? It does not have trample. Oh no! If I had thought about it, I could have gotten it both. I could have done Sundering Eruption, blow up their land, and then all the treasures I'm making help pay for Balthier and Fran. That would have done it. That would have done it. And now we just die on the crackback. And then, yeah. Do this out of spite. No, wait, no, hold on. I just realized we had the... I forgot that this was a creature because we animated it. We could have used that, blocked Pock, and then used the Eruption on the next turn. I am an idiot. Okay, God damn it. We actually, oh my god, we could have won that actually. I am just a very, very, very silly goose. Holy shit. I wasn't even. Use a rocket buggy. Block Pock. Let's pray that they don't have like a second creature. Yeah, that would have gone there. Shit. Shit. We're against Tifa Lockhart. I did not do this correctly. I was supposed to go back and double check and make sure we had removal. Richard Battle was a fight spell, but we're on the draw. Do I not have any burn removal? I have shove aside. Okay, that's something at least. Greaves is not what we want here. I don't know that we want demand answers either. Probably not snakeskin fail though. They were the starting players, so we do get flash on our shove aside. You got a mulligan, people. You got a mulligan for these outs. Ooh, flame slash helps out a lot. Because now if they just like jam Tifa, we can go shove aside. I would prefer flame slash though on our turn. It's entirely possible that also they decide to not play her out like a good player and then wait until they have protection. Roaring Earth, that is a good card to play. Shifting Woodland. Ugh. That's gonna have to come to play tapped. It's unfortunate. I wanted to be able to cast demand answers if they didn't do anything. But we are just gonna have to wait on shove aside now. It's probably play Tifa. Yep, go ahead. Play a basic forest. I don't think I have anything that stops that, right? Like, yeah, they just get a 4-3. And if they pass the turn here... Yeah, they pass the turn. I'm going to go ahead and shove aside. And then on our turn, we can go ahead and flame slash. This is human rabbit. Human and rabbit, so we can go ahead and put it on human. I'm really hoping to draw a red source so I can play this demand answers. Okay, yep. Aspect of Hydra. Name human. Then there's a flame slash to slow her down just a little bit more. If I don't draw a land, am I playing demand answers or am I playing Balthorn? I'm probably playing demand answers because they could just have a fight spell for Balthorn Fran. That's honestly probably about right. Okay, they're gonna go with the Spring Bloom Druid. That's a turn of setup for them. We've got the Regalia here. Regalia goes beep beep. Yep. And that turns Spring Bloom Druid into a 3-3. That's problematic. For different reasons. Oh, now it's just a fucking 5-5. Okay. Sure. Maybe I have to use the demand answers after all to try and dig for more removal. Oh, it's a little late for you, isn't it? Okay. So... I cast Balthor and Fran. They have Tifa. Alright. If they don't have, like, boots or something, we're still relatively safe. For the turn, at least. Yep, that's a Roaring Earth on Tifa. A Braid won't do anything past the next Rampant Growth they cast. Which is unfortunate, but... that's life, baby! Shatter Skull Smashing. Could you have been any later? Shatters tapped, past the turn. Alright, they're gonna go ahead, they're gonna take their untap. I have to Braid in response to their next trigger, unfortunately. I don't like this one bit. But let's see if they have more protection. Any sort of Tamio safekeeping, Royal Decree, anything like that does it. Blitzball Shot, that's actually worse. Because now... yeah, that's 12 power, that's 12, 17. I can stop 3 of that and get back Tamio safekeeping, so I'm at a virtual 25. Virtual 27, maybe? Just the Spring Bloom Druid. Is it worth using Tamio's safekeeping? Just to make sure I don't get, like, off to no. Yeah, I need to make sure I have a Beast Within. I'm not beating anything bigger than that. I have the Regalia. What does that do for me? Hey there, Hero Girl. Still at work, but decided to pop in while you're on your 10-minute break. Lucky, they need to stop working you so damn hard. For real, man. I'm gonna drop this Destiny. And I guess drop Kraza. So they don't have the gas to go all in on Tifa just yet. But they are going to try and like whittle down my health so they can one-shot me. All they need is like one migration path, like basically any double land spell. Yep, Tifa's an 8/5. That's going to get boosted to 1734 as soon as they play like literally any land. That's lethal. Just do anything. Technically speaking, it puts him at 10. Which is a fuck ton. What's the other part of this? Okay, it's just the channel effect. Yeah, let's go. This still domes me for 10, but then they have to recast Tifa on the next turn. Well, thanks for checking in, Lucky. That puts you on a 75 stream streak. Anything cool in here that I could turn the shit to? Surge Hacker Mech. This deals damage equal to twice the number of vehicles we control. So this currently deals 2. Okay. The Regalia currently trades with Spring Bloom. That worth it? A double kills me? Whatever. Cars go beep beep. Alright. Any double land spell does it. Any double land spell at all. Yep. Oh, yeah, that also just does it. GG's. Why did you play Tifa first then? What was the point of playing Tifa first there? Just to fill out dailies, I guess? Alright, technically 3 o'clock. So we'll hold off on any more Balthor and Frans till next week, probably, at this point. Make sure that we have Beast Within. Beast Within and Kenris. I should already have Kenris in here. I do not have Kenris. Why did I cut Kenris? I can beat a couple of 3/3s in this deck. I can't beat bigger than life 6/6s. Not happening. We can take out Thrun then. Thrun was in there because I was just like looking for good cards to put in. Toski. Hold on. Toski even like pilot anything? There's a couple like small things that we could get the squirrel to drive, but nothing huge. I mean, I guess the scroll can help a lot of the 2-drops crew. Yeah, because we have like some 2 power cards. They can't crew otherwise. Not that I want to cut Nosuke. Frenzy Bailoff and Destiny Spinner and Swelcher and Spider-Punk are here because we just do not want to get countered. Do not want to mess with that. Torpor Orb is pretty good. Wish you could stay longer, but your break's almost done. Yep, see me later. See you later, Lucky. See you later. Stay strong. For attacks, Garrick, Bridge, Magus, yeah, Magus. Chariot. I think Toad is perfectly. The barges are Vigilance and Reach because they're air. This Rocketeer Buggy surprised. Whenever it attacks, you just make a treasure and then you can actually like animate it by itself later on. Okay, I'm here for that. Strangle, Shove, Bolt, Galv Blast, Flame Slash, Fire Magic, Cinder Cone's Light, Opal and Amber. Is Opal even viable? I don't know if it is. It just needs like 2 vehicles though. Turns on with a bunch of treasures, but at that point we already have like a bunch of treasures. So. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over to Final Fantasy XIV. Make sure my room's clean. Okay. By the way, Chad, I was talking to my friend about Chainsaw Man. Actually, I was talking to her about Spy Family. The Chainsaw Man had already been discussed. And it kind of looped back around the Chainsaw Man because I memed at her. I did the whole Thank you, Spy Family. Spy Family? Yeah, because you're a family and you're all spies. I have no context for that panel. I don't want any context because I'm reading Chainsaw Man on my own. But like, wow, she got so exasperated when that came up. She was like, "You've been infected by the stupid ass meme too," and it's like, yeah, okay, yep. I see. It's exactly as bad as I thought it was. Apparently, it's being used to meme on the ending of Chainsaw Man. I figured as much. Given the fact that I'm seeing it so often. But wow, not expecting that strong of. Guardians. Hey Sam, thank you so much for stopping by. Life is going a-okay. Well, I'm not going like a-okay per se, but like it's definitely going. Life is definitely settling back down after some mild up. Just talking about that Chainsaw Man meme that's been going around the internet past couple of weeks. You know the one. The whole thank you Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man, yes, because you're a man who uses a chainsaw. Something like that. Something to that extent. I'm not. There's some stuff I want from the Mog Pendium, but don't think I'm gonna be getting around to seriously farming those films. What do we got today? We've got Lock Around the Clock. Not impossible, but just a little bit. Oh, suddenly coughing. Not impossible, but a little bit harder than I'd like. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Do these 4. That's 8. So we pretty much have to do one of the alliance raids. Are you excited about Fujimo's next work? I saw the TV glow this week and he liked it a lot. I saw that, and I'm just like, yeah, that seems like a movie that he would enjoy. It's a really good movie. I wouldn't take that as like, you know, an assumption that it's going to be the basis of his next work. From what I remember, he's gone on record of saying that he tends to draw as a way to process the emotions and the things that are happening to him in life. Conversely, though, that means that if he decides to transition, then like, hey, you know what? We got a real shot at that making Shonen Jump. Not the basis of his next work, but maybe for a chapter or two, like Sharknado. True, actually, true. What the fuck are you doing here, dude? Dude! Fuck off! Could be right. Alright, which one is this? This was... a couple of Moogle chores, and then we're going to make sure that we get a fresh start on our tails, I think. Oh, someone got their Moogle dance emote. God damn it. I want that Moogle dance emote. I'm going to get that Moogle dance emote, chat. Just you watch. The Sharknado scene was fucking amazing, though. Like, if anything makes me want to watch the Chainsaw Man movie, it's the fucking Sharknado scene. Oh wait, the Mocto event has been up for a week already? Yeah, it's been up for a week already. I tried to get in on the weekly Mog event for it, but I queued in just a little too late, so we did not have time to do it on stream. And yesterday was pre-modern night, so I didn't even get to do it off stream. And now tonight I get to go grocery shopping for the first time in like 2 weeks. Oh god, being sick was a lot more fun when it wasn't disrupting my entire schedule. When it was actually getting me out of things that I didn't want to do, rather than keeping me from like doing the things I was excited to work on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, chat? It was all well and fun when I could use it as an excuse to stay home and play games. But now my job is to go online and play games, and I'm too sick to do that. How is that fair? Oh, as a reminder, folks, since we're in the second hour, it is time for monthly Take Care of Wife Day, which means that tomorrow and Wednesday, I am not going to be streaming. Or tomorrow, no, yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday, tomorrow, and then the day after that is Thursday. I will not be streaming. But we will be back on Friday for Final Fantasy Friday. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we did some Final Fantasy VIII, so we're... He's over. And then next week we should be back to some normal streaming time plus. Because next week I'm going to try and do a belated birthday bonanza. We'll be streaming for extra hours, at least a couple of extra hours. I'm going to see if I can, you know, stream for like 4 or 5 hours for a couple of days in a row. And we'll be figuring out some challenge stuff that we can do. Maybe they'll be in Final Fantasy XIV. Maybe they'll be in a different game. Maybe I'll split it up by day, something like that. Hopefully I think it's something fun. Because if I can raise any money from subs or gifts or biddies, anything like that, that helps me recoup the cost of going out to eat for my birthday potentially helps pay for the cost of the tattoo that I want to get for my birthday. So like, you know, if you have just a little bit of spare change and you wanna help out your favorite streamer here, good time to help out with that. IDK if it's a rude question, so if you find it rude. Do y'all also have a monthly husband day? Sadly, no. No, I don't. But then again, like, you know, husband's not in therapy or anything like that. Wife tends to get wiped out after going to see her professional. It's just a lot of emotional work and stuff like that. Husband's fairly self-professional. He's like a cactus. He is like the cactus of partners, where he's pretty set on just about like any time he gets to spend with us in affection, and otherwise he likes to spend his time on his own. He's usually attached to his computer desk. He'll be playing like Factorio or working through Digimon, Pokemon. Maybe he'll play his Monkey Balloon Tower Defense game. A lot of time he's also just like tired from work and having to get up early to take the train to work. So even at the end of the day, where the general idea is, okay, we all have dinner and we sit down and we watch a thing together. You know, sometimes he'll just be like, I'm too tired to engage with things. I just want to eat at my desk and like be left alone for a bit. And that's perfectly fine. But it also means that, you know, I'm not showering him with attention and affection. It's this dynamic where my wife is the incredibly needy attention type. She needs lots of love and affection and validation. I don't know why I went 100% quality on this. This is not required for this. All right, you just get like a very specially crafted task component, I guess. And then husband just like is done. Like, it's so weird. I think of my husband as a dog and my wife as a cat, when the reality is that they're actually like very reversed in roles, and that my husband is very cat-like and that he only wants to, you know, be touched and hugged when he's up for it, and my wife is the one who constantly needs attention. But they're just like literally the opposite. Like literally opposite animal genders. I don't know, I guess puppy girl. Husband and I have been trying to make more time for each other, though, lately. We've started this thing where Sunday morning, instead of writing, I sit down on the couch and we set up the TV to hook up to his computer. And we've started reading Fate's Day Night together. Take a sip. We've started reading Fate's Day Night together, and that's nice. It's a nice chance to like cuddle on the couch for an hour or so, read through a visual novel that we've been wanting to get through together. When we first started dating, one of the big things that brought us together was our love for Fate's Day Night as a franchise. We played FGO together, we prepared guides, we messaged each other to ask each other to put certain servants up, help us out with farming comps. At some point we're gonna rewatch the Heaven's Feel movies together. I've only ever seen the first two. And he still plays Fate Grand Order. I don't have any plans currently to go back to it. I've kind of come to terms with the idea that I should just let sleeping dogs lie. Oh my god, is that a Sora cosplay? It is! It is! It's a Sora cosplay! Look at that, chat! Okay, what glamour pieces are you using for that? Nezha Lord slops, the Venerian gloves, okay. Nezha Lord's jacket. Glossy Winter's crown. And Tonberry. Okay, Tonberry boots aren't bad for that. That's cute. That's cute. Alright, let's go ahead and get back to crafting. Different people have different needs. Yeah, they do. But, like, it's one of those situations where it's very clear to me that between me and my husband, I am the needy one. Between me and my wife, she is the needy one. Which I very much need in my life. I need a partner that unequivocally needs me. So that way I can fight back the brain goblins that are trying to convince me that I am not worthy of love and that all signs of affection that people present to me are false, disingenuous, or at best temporary. So, like, in that sense, my wife and I are perfect to each other. It's definitely one of those situations where I love my husband dearly, but it is clear to me that if the relationship was just me and my husband, if there was no, third partner in the mix here, providing me with that affection that I need, I would very much have to continue seeing other people outside of our relationship to get that need filled. That's not I would break up with my husband or anything like that. No, no. It's just one of those people who have different needs, And part of why I like being poly is that it means being able to communicate those needs with both of my partners and getting the understanding and freedom to seek it when my immediate partners cannot provide it to me. Down levels. What was I looking for? Reputation. Alright, so now we can go ahead. We'll go back to Gridania. We'll take care of that Wondrous Nails. Especially since I'm taking the couple of days off this week. My gear, okay. How much of my gear can I actually, repair? Literally just the earring? I don't have the materials. What do I need to repair this? Grade Dark Matter 7? I could probably get that. Actually, hold on. Get that from the marketplace. Take a look. Let's take a look to see if we can get it from the NPC. We should be able to. What do I need in order to repair level 70? Hold on. Ah, okay. Leather worker, weaver, 70. Okay. So as soon as I get these to level 70, I can actually repair them myself with the dark matter gear. That's good to know. For now, I will swallow my coin. Get an MP. Mentor was hairs. There we go. Must say the question came from curiosity and respect. No one should not ask personal questions and think that that's relationships one is not a part of. But you're intrigued nonetheless of healthy poly relationships. Look, I am of the opinion that most any questions asked out of genuine curiosity are perfectly fine as long as you are okay with the answer being, I would prefer not to answer that question, or no. Unfortunately, Sam, you've been around that, you would have freedom to ask most any question. Now, if I had, say, a brand new person come into chat and being like, hey, you talk about your wife, you talk about your husband, and ask stuff like that, well then, maybe I'm a little more cautious. Maybe I'm a little bit more reserved in terms of how I'm answering those questions. I'm like, new person coming into chat, asking about this stuff. Maybe they're pro poly. Maybe they're trying to suss out whether, I'm available. There's a lot of questions that go into, there's a lot of overthinking that goes into that. A lot of variables. So, the more familiar I am with you as a person, as a poster, as a regular stream chatter, the less variables I have to be concerned about. And so the more open I am to answering those types of questions. If we're just being completely honest in terms of boundaries and limits. Because there are those people who come in and they chat, like they let me know that they are around, and like I am vaguely aware of who they are. Like maybe I have a general idea, but I'm still not aware of what their outline is, if that makes sense. If someone comes in and they say, "Hey, hero," and there's someone who comes in and says, "Hey, hero," and asks how, and like I have a general idea of like their ideas or stuff. I might have like an idea of like what they're interested in, but I'm not sure as to what the character of their soul is. So so the clearer picture I have on the character of their soul, the less I have to worry. Freedom to ask any question, like your credit card number is a bunch of numbers. Honestly, yeah, I would say you have those privileges. You can ask what my credit card number is. You're not gonna get it, but you can ask. Now, see, this is where we go back into the whole, if a new chatter was to come in and ask me what my credit card number was, like obviously you'd be super suspicious of that person, right? You'd be like, oh, this is a scammer, this is a bot, this is someone trying to steal my information. And while I still wouldn't give that information out to like my regulars, like at least we are in the territory of we can have a chuckle about it, as opposed to hyper vigilante, all forces on alert. Let's go ahead and mods, seize this wretch and banish them to the dungeon. And maybe part of that is on me, actually. Maybe part of that is on me for not being quite as open as what some other streamers would be. I know that there are people who come into this stream for the first time and they start chatting, and like I don't come across as warm and welcoming as soon as they start talking, right? As soon as a person tries to connect and be like, oh, you're playing Magic, I like playing this deck, I want to talk about my deck as a means to communicate, I don't pass the human test when that happens. I don't present to that person like, an actual human being on the other side of the screen. And that is something I would like to work on. But the problem is, in order to work on that, I need to have more exposure to people walking in the chat and talking. And then because I don't have like the practice, like I'm gonna have rough parts, chat. I'm gonna have rough parts, and unfortunately, everyone who comes in chat and starts talking for like the first time, you're getting the firstborn treatment. You are getting the test pancake analogy that I brought up to my therapist a couple of weeks ago. You are unfortunately gonna get turned over before you're done cooking. You're gonna get turned over. You might be a little spongy and gooey on the inside because we didn't thicken the batter. We made it too hot. It didn't cook all the way through, and the outside still got burned. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get better at this. This is not your fault, inherently. But, hopefully the best chatters will have the grace and understanding to, grace me with their Mother Teresa levels of patience. Not passing the human test sounds kind of metal, though. I mean, it kind of does. But, like, that's not a good thing. This is something I heard Trixie the Golden Witch talking about in one of her just, like, chats, one of her yaps, I am going to throw down some ideas that, should be basic fucking sense. But because we live in a world where multiple viewpoints in the spectrum of human existence means that anything possible that a human being could have or think about is going to be reality at some point for someone. Like the weather, right? As someone who is autistic, I do not like making small talk. But the fact of the matter is that when you meet someone and you don't know who they are or what they're into, you need common ground in order to communicate with them. And so, you say something like, oh, crazy weather we're having, like maybe because it's raining and then it's snowing and stuff like that. And so you just like, yes, it's small talk about the weather. You're looking at them like an idiot, like the weather, the weather. Oh, come on, there's like so many more interesting things, but they don't know that. They don't know that. So it's just like, you know, they're tentatively reaching out. They are the rabbit poking their nose out of the bushes, testing to make sure everything is okay and that's safe to, like, you know, be around you. And passing the human test means acknowledging that and being like, yeah, yep, absolutely. Rain sure has been a lot. Or, you know, just like having a human style response. And I am so bad at that when I'm streaming. I need to get better at passing the human test when I stream. Or maybe not actually. Maybe it's actually better if I don't. Like, let's take this idea on a walk, right? On the one hand, when you're on the internet, you want to be recognized as a human person. You don't want people going to that territory of like, oh, you know what, this is just a big content creator. I'm not going to treat them with the pride and dignity that being human should afford them. Instead, I'm going to act entitled and that I am, you know, in charge of everything that they do, and how dare they like do anything that doesn't fit within the purviews of exactly my desires and wants and needs. Like, that's just no, we don't do that here. We don't do that anywhere. But at the same time, if you're too much of a people, then people start acting like they can, you know, just kind of approach you out of nowhere. That is the one-sided relationship of, hey, I know who you are, I like you, let's be friends, you know, kind of like you're meeting someone for the first time in the game shop. When they might not know anything about you, and so you just kind of show up out of nowhere. I don't know, maybe some people can handle that better than I can, but like, I definitely can't handle the parasocialness of it. Parasocialness does kind of go both ways though, doesn't it? Like, if I have a chatter who is like pretty regular in my stream, I want to be friends with that person. I want to be friends with that chatter. I mean, that's part of why I'm streaming in the first place. Right now, we are in the cozy middle of streaming where, you know, everyone who comes in, I get just enough one-on-one time to make an impression and to convince you that I am someone worth coming back to and talking. And you have the power to convince me that you are someone worth having in stream. I'll try what Bailey does anything when you're level 80, huh? Okay. Eat this fish. There we go. Weather? Love that character. It's from JoJo Part 6. It has very confusing powers. We're gonna get the JoJo Part 6. I gotta watch Part 3. Like, part of the way that... So, like... Another example is the Discord and how I handle Discord. Like, some people do just have their Discord advertised through their stream. I think that's good. I think that's a good way to build community and stuff like that. I'm probably trying a little too hard, because currently the only way to access my Discord is either with direct invitations or by signing up on the Patreon that I never plug. Like, just like for $5, you too can join the Hero Girls server. But I don't say that anywhere, so people just like don't know about the Discord. But I also just kind of do that to like pre-select. It's kind of like finding the One Piece if you think about it. It is, I really only want these first few people joining the Discord to be the people who are sincerely, genuinely interested in being people to hang around. Oh, I guess that maybe that's not like the best thing to be doing when you're trying to build a reputation in a platform. I basically have to figure out what my relationship to people who think of themselves as my fans is gonna be. Whoops, going from like friend to fan. Now that is the thing that I have no experience with. no experience with, and I need so much more practice handling. Because if my intent is to publish, be an author, be a video essayist, I'm going to have people who are fans, and that is a very different relationship type than being friends. I am very much looking for friends, but saying that you're looking for friends doesn't mean, you know, accepting every wave of friendship that comes across your way. It means being able to sift through all of the potential relationships and finding the exact one that will help you out the most. And I'm going to go ahead and do... I guess the... Very good server, very gay nerd. Highly recommend to anyone who isn't in there yet. Thank you, Sam. Glad it has such a glowing review. The Sunken Temple of Karn. Let me guess, this is on the mug rotation, isn't it? This person knows what's what. This person knows what's what. They expertly dodged the first mob. That's the other thing too, actually. I am oh, no, no, no! I don't have my AoE! I don't have my AoE at this level. No, no! Ah, no, no! Alright, guess I'm gonna have to... oh. No, no. I don't get this till what, level 45? I'm level 37 right now. I'm literally just gonna focus on overhealing. Okay, I need to finish that train of thought. I am also intentionally obfuscating the Discord because I want it to be a slow roll. I have often thought of friend groups as like Chaos Emeralds, where they need time to adjust to each other. They need time to adjust to each other before, like, you know, getting comfortable. And if you have just, like, have a sudden influx of people, it can be very easy for a culture and a system to get out of control and turn into a thing that you're not ready to deal with. But again, maybe that's just more of a skill issue than anything else. Making friends as adults is kind of hard, but it's very rewarding. Oh, that's just kind of true in life in general, isn't it? Alright, but effective with 2. Making friends is hard, though. I heard randomly from, like, it had to have been, like, I don't know, one of Mark Zuckerberg's interviews where they were saying the average adult human wants, like, 15 friends. They need and want 15 friends in their social network in order to have a fulfilling social life, right? And part of why they're, you know, why they're marketing AI the way that they are is to help fill the gap and take in that. It's like, ah, man, people need friends, so let's go ahead and make a friend for them that we can sell. Like, this is a great marketing opportunity. First of all, disgusting. Second of all, I think about that and I go, okay, well, if it's 15 friends, and we're going to assume that Mark's correct on this because, you know, they have actual oh, I'm fucking dying. There we go. We're going to assume Mark is right on this because they do have, like, psychologists and whatnot on their payroll. That's part of why this stuff gets so addictive, is because they just have people who are well versed in the psychology of addiction. And if I need 15 friends in order to have a fulfilling social life, one, that explains why I felt so not exactly starved, but like I felt something lacking in my social life. But I definitely don't have that right now. And it also explains why when I felt the most directly connected to some of my communities, why those were actually some of the better times, even during things like the pandemic, right? Discord groups are like the Chaos Emeralds. Obama has them. Obama has them? Damn. Remember when Obama was in Dan to Dan? Like, that was just like a thing that actually was there. Like, I'm not surprised. Celebrities get drawn all the time. Ah, 15 friends. I mean, like, yeah, I've got everyone in V Chronicle. You could say that that's 4, but then Lila and Fish have been not terminally online the way that I have been. So it would be Fron, maybe Jess. I can count both of my partners as friends, though because husband is so tired and often from work, I'm not really doing a lot with him. This is actually something that we were talking about as a family at one point. How we have been lacking a bit of a social life. It's part of why we're going to pre-modern each week, or every other week, I guess. Just going out and getting like a better sense of ritual and community has been really good. This is something I heard a couple of years ago from a small filmmaker channel. That ritual and community is so important for humans, and it's definitely been something that I've seen a lot of people slowly like get on the bandwagon for ever since the presidential election. People can always make friends, but you have to be open to watch a lot of Bluey the first couple of years. Damn! Damn! I got that joke, but like... Okay. Shut up. Shut up, 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 shut up. That's the thing though, is like, okay. So like, that is a joke about, you know, making kids and stuff like that. Like, yeah, haha, you're making your own friends. Like, first of all, I get that. That's a great joke. I love that bit. And also, let's think about for a second the fact that actually you're not making friends. You're making like children who have their own. Oh shit! There we go. Almost lost my buttons there for a second. But like, you are actually being a parent, and there is a fine line to walk between being an enforcer and being an actual factual advocate to your and protector for your children. God, I was actually getting into a conversation about this with my not quite brother-in-law. That is a conversation I don't care to repeat though, so we'll change the topic up. Hey, I'm not gonna get a second chance point off this, actually. Also, I am like gonna add a mana here, unless I can get my mind's eye going. There we go. I need to I need to work on the poster for Birthday Bonanza. I need to figure out how to work on that while also taking care of my wife. Hold on, is this restores target? This is restore on HP and 8. Why did I think that this was my single? Why did I have my single and target, my AoE heals up? Anyway. I saw the TV Globe is a good. That is a really fucking good. Highly, highly, highly recommend anyone. No. Even adjacent to the queer circles to consider watching that. Wait, hold on. Are we just like DPSing past several of the phases? Holy shit. Now everyone goes without taking the sweet, sweet treasure. That is all of these. Oh wait, no, I need a decent though. That's why. Go ahead and pop these. Get some. That'll also get us stuff. One of these days, I'm just gonna straight up sit. It gives me a ton of clusters. Look at all those clusters. I definitely the value of doing all these and just having the decent skill. Having the decent skill has actually made doing all of these like so much more profitable. That is just not something I can do on Hiroko because Hiroko doesn't have crafters leveled in order to use them. Okay, now we can go. And let's see. The loving relic gave us the 1 to 47, so go ahead and do church. Okay. We have a double liner coming up. Hopefully. Maybe. Pray that we do. Go back to unrestricted party. Give me the vault. I'm only doing the vault because it gives me dye. It gives me honey yellow dye. So I'm just kind of like farming honey yellow dye for no particular reason. Would be nice to amass decent objects. Oh my god, it would be. Like if we just like right click, control, decent all of these, please. That would be amazing. If you could just like have a holding spot to like shove, basically have like a pocket space to shove all of those items into. So that way it doesn't fuck up the, oh, you don't have enough room in your bag for all of these. Like, no, fuck it, fuck that shit. I have all of the things. God. I can't wait for the quality of life on the dyes. They're going to fucking finally give us a way to save all that space. Now, granted, they're going to be doing it by doing, okay, this is type A dye, this is type B dye, type C dye. At least some. Makes me wonder if they'll do something similar with fishing bait. I can't access my saddlebag from here, but like you guys know what my. It's literally half dye, half fish. Every time I start thinking about, you know, paying a little bit more subscription to get that second Choco saddlebag. That's why. Then I go, no, actually, this is just a skill issue. I can do this. I don't need a second saddlebag. I can actually take responsibility and stop being such a fucking pack rat. Only you bent over story. Oh, on another note though, I am getting closer to having my wife here for collab streaming. The only real difference is that I'm still going to be doing like daily Magic, daily Final Fantasy. But then once Final Fantasy is done, that's the point where my wife should be set to join me for some other stuff that we've been wanting to do. So we will get wife time. Or I guess like I will continue. I was always getting wife time, but like now chat can join in. Now chat gets to be privy to the adventures that my wife and I want to get up to. We'll be doing Halo, Path of Exile 2. At some point we'll be doing some Night Rain. It might even be late enough in the day that Fran can join us for Night Rain. And hey Fran, if you're still listening, Night Rain. Night Rain with me and my wife. Pretty good, doesn't it? It is such an oddly specific thing for Night Rain to be for up to 3 players. But, you know what? I'm not going to complain. Yeah, deal number. And honestly, it's just part of the friction. I was talking about this yesterday. There's friction between me ending the stream and wanting to play games with my wife. Because as much as I love video games, chat, I need time to wind down and de-stim after stream. I need to take the headphones off. I need to take entertainment mode off. And that very often just ends up turning into my wife and I watching stuff on YouTube, which we like doing. It's very relaxing, very restful to do that. But very often what we want to do, what we ended up doing is being like, we should play Halo, we should play Path of Exile, we should play this game, we should play that game. And then we just don't get around to it because like, we're already watching a thing, I don't want to have to set all this up to do the thing. And like part of that is on me. I shouldn't be asking a disabled woman to be the catalyst for whether or not we actually do a thing. But also, I just want to like stream with my wife in general. That's been something I've been thinking about doing for the past, what, 3, almost 4 years now. I actually ended up trying to do that very early. We just had some issues with dating that I think we can probably solve now. And if we can't solve it just by, you know, adjusting our microphones, then we can actually use the Steam share to have her use my husband's computer now, which is nice. In short, chat, I am very excited to play games with my wife because I love my wife so much. I'm a professional wife guy, except like, you know, not a guy. Professional wife girl. I'm crazy for my wife. I love my wife. I adore my wife. My wife is literally like just the best. There are many like her, but this one is mine. You can't have her, chat. Also working on a Fugi for her. Working on a Fugi. And since I always call her like my cat, her PNG is going to be literally a cat. Except I'm going to put the cat on top of a goblin. And it's going to be a goblin riding on top, a cat riding on top of a goblin's head. The goblin isn't the PNG tuber, it's the cat. It's going to be like the guy who wanted a cute model, but he's not a girl. So he had the artist add a little octopus blob to her head, and he's the octopus blob. Which way am I? Go. I'm supposed to. So you know. Oh, now I'm sleepy. Let's catch up. How should we refer to wife during streams? I don't actually know. That is something I'm going to have to talk to my wife when we actually get to that point. If I try and talk about it beforehand with her, she's probably gonna be like, oh, I don't know how that actually, like, how I actually feel about this. Gonna need to be like in the moment and feel out a couple of different things. Like, the easiest way would be just like have her have a handle, right? Like, I can't call her, maybe Hero Wife is a lot. Sometimes I refer to her as Hero Wife, but like barely ever at all. I do just like refer to her as my cat. So having chat be like, hey cat, that feels a little, But also, like, you know, probably don't want to use her actual first name, even though her first name is available in the Discord chat. Just for, like, you know, initial impressions or, this and that. I already had this thing. Maybe I'm gonna try and make her a tabby cat. Because she likes being tabby cat. Like, if my wife was a cat girl, then or like an actual factual cat, she would be a tabby cat. Or so she says. So I'm gonna draw her as a tabby cat, so maybe we just call her Tabby. We'll have to see. Because I don't want it to be one of those things where it's like, you know, the couples are using their embarrassing cute nicknames for each other out in public. I hate that. Actually, I do call her wife a lot. Like, as weird as it is, my nickname for her is wife. So I would have to figure out exactly how she feels about, like, other people referring to her as wife. Like, people come in and they could be like, wife, what do you think about this and this and this? And, like, I don't know how I feel about it. We're not exactly hanging out at the hotel here. I have time to, like, run one. Some hard. It's a manga event dungeon. But I don't get it because I'm not queued in with a party. I really don't know. I don't know how we're going to Bird of Wife. It's not gonna be like in the immediate future. I still have to like actually draft up the PNG, and then we have to do some experimentation to see what works best. So, not a question I have to answer right away, fortunately, but definitely something I should be thinking about. There certainly is something to be said about people who stream and then they want to get like their partners and stuff into the streaming with them. And I get it. You want to, like, this is kind of a social thing. And you want to be able to involve the people that you care about and the thing that you're being social. But then you also have to, you know, be aware that you're exposing them to a wider world. You also have to, oh my god, you also just have to be aware that there are going to be people that are going to be weird about you and your partner being on stream. Like, there are going to be people who see me and my wife, and they're going to be like, it's so cute as a couple, you know, the couple stuff, the couple stuff, the couple stuff. And they're going to treat us like a blob. They're going to treat us like a two-headed blob, and that's just, that's not something. But also, like, you know, if people do start doing that, then I can establish the boundary of, like, hey, you know what? We don't do that here. We don't do that here. This is my cat. My cat, and I love her very much. I would thank you to, you know, treat us with the same dignity that you would afford meeting us in person or anything like that. That being said, you know, it's not like my wife's immune to that stuff. She's very much a shipper and very much loves seeing people just tease and have fun being a couple. So she doesn't like doing that herself. I don't know. Like, my wife is an enigma that I need to unwrap. Not like we're going to hide the fact that we're wives. I would in fact say that that is in fact the selling point. Fish's wife did like a little bit of streaming, a little bit of skosh. I think at Fish's urging, it might have been. I don't know. It's just like I am so hyper aware of all the different things that can happen when, you know, a spouse gets involved in someone who's been streaming for a while. There's even the off chance that my wife is going to be more popular than me. Like, I literally do not know what's going to happen if that happens, because I'm just going to be like, like, am I just factually going to use my wife to farm views now? Is that something that I do? I have no fucking idea. I really have no idea. Although maybe my wife would actually enjoy it. Maybe my wife like spontaneously became a bigger streamer than I am. I don't know how much she would enjoy that. Like she's not really like a massive. No, maybe she is. She is a massive talker though, and she could probably handle herself on the internet. Like it's not like that sort of concern. She is still working through like some personal stuff. I guess the biggest issue is that I just can't like pick her, you know? I love my wife and I want to make sure that she just has like a fun, good time. I want to make sure that everything is okay. It is my job to take care of her. I am her caretaker. She is also her own human person. She is an adult who can do stuff. She just has a harder time doing stuff. I'm there to help her out. Delicate balance to get there. Honestly, if you'd asked me my opinion, which this is my stream, I don't know why you wouldn't be asking my opinion. If my wife would become a bigger streamer than I am, I would actually be really excited about that. Woman who starts streaming becomes Northern Lion too. It's funny because Northern Lion's wife does stream. She does stream full time. Like they actually are a streaming couple who does it full time, from what I understand. Like she got into it because she started dating Ryan. Or at the very least, like she got bigger after like Ryan got her set up and started helping her out stuff. Now she just like streams on her own and has a decent, respectable following independent of what her husband has done. Like she has people who follow her for her. And she is a good streamer in her own right. And also, like, it's just funny that, you know, it is once again, you know, guy who streams, has girlfriend, and then girlfriend ends up streaming too. She actually plays Final Fantasy XIV. She streams it too. I think those streams are only for members only, though. You're a girl, loving Momo, FF14 collab when? I feel like I would have to watch more of her streams before I do that, though. Like I watch Kate a little bit, but I don't watch her enough to feel comfortable saying that, like, no, I'm a huge fan of her streams and stuff. But then again, it's not like I'm watching like a lot of people who stream anyway. Is that open? But no, if it was my wife though, if it was my wife, I would actually be really excited about her getting huge. One, because then it means that streaming with my wife pumps my numbers up. And a rising tide lifts all ships, don't you know? But second of all, it would mean that she kind of has something to work on, apart from like just normal stuff. I don't know. That's not really like my story to tell. But it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's just a question of like whether she can be on like this, and that's the real issue. I don't know that her disability would let her be on the way that I'm on. It would absolutely have to be like a more chill comfortable streamer who just hangs out and, you know, talks to whoever shows up. But maybe hanging out with me will actually like help her build up that stamina. Because then you don't have to like, you know, get used to the energy that it takes to talk to chat. You could just talk and shoot the shit with wife. You know? I mean, why can't you just like perfectly go into here? That would give me a 4 and set up another line, and then we could get like one more right there. That'd be the triple liner, baby. But no, we can't do that. All right, let's get ready to head on out. So, folks, we have a little redeem here called the Lead. If you know anyone who's cool, you know anyone who plays Final Fantasy 14 or Magic the Gathering, maybe they're transgender, maybe they're queer in some way, but like, if you just know people that you want to introduce our community to, if you want to spread the love, go ahead and hit that redeem. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and hit someone up that been following for a little while. So don't go anywhere. We do love to pass on that love. And we will start that raid out as soon as I have like all these turned in. That is so many seals. Living Viva la Seals. Alright. Let's go ahead and see who was currently pass things off. Just one more reminder that we are not going to be live tomorrow or Thursday. Those are our monthly take care of our wife days. If you're on the YouTube side of this, thank you so much. YouTube here. Then raiding into